Don't compromise, just use your eyes. Take a look inside the millennial mind. Millennial mind.
Welcome to the Millennial Mind. You might call us millennials lazy, out of control, unsocial. Who knows? But it's time you understand the millennial generation and break free of those negative stereotypes. We want you to get the knowledge you need to attract, retain, and engage the millennial mind. So you can take us from engaged to impactful, understood. No matter what it is, make that pivot. And who better to do this than two actual millennials themselves? I'm Garrett Wagner, your entrepreneurial CPA, and I'm here with my fellow millennial, AKA a laundry list of topics, too many for me to name out right here. One of them is not Dr. Blockchain, I can tell you that much right now, Drew Carrick. So everyone, are you ready to hear the truth about the millennial mind? So Drew, today I want to talk about something that's important. I had this conversation today in a board meeting. I'll talk about what's the value an organization, a group, brings to millennials, and whether that's an accounting association, state society, chamber of commerce, Elks Club, whatever it is, what can all these legacy organizations bring to millennials as actual value to make us actually show up and want to be members?
Well, I want to preface this with you are listening and you are one of the leaders at any of these associations or organizations. You're looking at maybe a 10-year lifespan if you're not ready to start adapting within the next 5 years. You know, as the baby boomers fade out and you end up with just, you know, this sort of ecosystem of, you know, I'm really well connected with the leadership at this company and they send their employees to this organization and they make them be a part of it because it's a good thing. As those sort of fade out and secede out of the secession plan, then you have to adapt to the millennial market. And we're here and we're not going to these meetings because we're not really sure what the value actually is, as you said. And so I think you need to come at it with a different approach of, you know, I want to know that if I'm attending this meeting, it's not just, you know, I'm not going for necessarily the 1.5 CPE credits that you're offering, but I need something that's, we want to feel connected. We want to feel like we're giving back to the community. We want to feel like we're making a legacy, making an impact, and sort of connected to one of our last videos is the whole personal brand. How can me being part of your organization add to my personal brand and add to my connections and my network that I have that's going to have, you know, a very more immediate impact than just, you know, I'm just happen to know these people and it's good to know.
Yeah, so Drew, let me ask you this, and this is something when we post this on social media, I'm going to put in the comments. We want to hear from you out there. Pretty simple question. I don't know whether it's a Chamber of Commerce. Let's go to the Chamber of Commerce, Elks Club, Rotary, those traditional membership organizations. You've heard of these things before. Do you know what they do? Do you have any idea what they do?
I know that I got a scholarship one time from the Elks Club. Somebody else submitted me for that. So that was.
I didn't know you were a scholarship winner there. So
thank you for that. Chamber of Commerce, I don't know, I assume something to do with Treasury, perhaps at the local government level.
Hold on. Like what do you mean by Treasury?
I'm not even sure what that, I don't know. I feel like that's a buzzword that you use when you talk about the Chamber of Commerce. You just talk about the Treasury aspect.
Like, do they have like a bucket of gold somewhere or like a gold vault? Like,
I did have this sort of interpretation that like that's just where like the town's treasures are kept, and they kind of, you know, oversee the inflow and outflow of like pirates' booty and gold. And then the
okay. Just so I can recapsulate that, a Chamber of Commerce, they keep all the treasure for the town in a treasure place. And when new treasure comes in, it's added to that. And then when treasure moves out, they take it out and they ship it out.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's probably like where the first bookkeeping came from, is they probably kept a little record book of how much treasure is going out and how much treasure is coming in.
Now, do they use Amazon to ship this stuff, or how do they?
I mean, ideally, drones. You know.
I mean, gold bars are heavy, though. If you've ever picked a gold bar.
perhaps they turn it to cryptocurrency. Maybe Sean could help us. Dr. Sean might be able
perhaps so maybe chambers now are big in the cryptocurrency space.
It's probably easier. You know what I mean? They back it up, and I feel like they have like a little underground secret tunnel where they actually keep it, and you know, just in case there's a fire or something, and then they make it into, you know, print or crypto.
All right. How about what's the last one? Like an Elks Club.
I don't know. Whenever I think of Elks Club, I'm literally thinking of like moose. I don't know. Is that an elk? Isn't that what an elk is?
Kinda.
I think. I don't know. I think they have a building. I imagine there's probably a pool table inside. I think they rent out sometimes the space for like Sweet 16s or like graduation parties.
You think there's an elk inside?
I feel like there's got to be a head of an elk like on the wall or something. That would make sense to me.
So Drew, I think we need to continue this conversation. So today, let's dive into kind of step one. Step one on this, we've clearly identified a problem. If you're one of those organizations and you're wondering like, why can I attract more millennials? Let's face the harsh truth. You can't attract them because we don't know what you do. We don't have the slightest clue, because I'm guessing, I could be wrong, and I look forward to the social post below. I'd love to hear from people that are involved in these organizations, if how close you are on any of them. But clearly that's a problem. I mean, that's like saying like, you know, Apple, people don't know what Apple does. Or people don't know what, you know, like let's take on Tesla. Does anybody not know what Tesla does? No. We won't ask you to explain that. So step one, like if these membership organizations want to have any chance to just barely even attract millennials, how do they got to communicate to them at all so we understand and we can actually understand what they do versus what you just said?
Well, I think you got to start with the people who are already involved need to, I mean, you can't overlook word of mouth. Don't just say, I'm going to create a Facebook ad for my club or organization and put it on Facebook, and now millennials are going to be interested, because we're not going to click on it. You know what I mean? Because we don't even know what it is and how it has anything to do with us. But kind of with the content development and the branding, if you create some sort of engaging photo or video, then perhaps that at least kind of makes us associate your name with whatever sort of brand you're trying to communicate outwards. And I think also finding a couple ambitious, because you've got, I mean, if you're part of these clubs, like you have kids, there's probably parents are in these clubs and they have kids with some ambition. Bring them in, inform them, and then utilize the knowledge that they have. Like if somebody asked me, hey, we want to know how to get some more membership. Well, first of all, take me in, explain to me what in the world you actually do, and then maybe listen to my advice. If I say, well, you know, that's not really what millennials care about, but perhaps if you adapt and become more, you know, targeted towards this demographic, you can get more. Because otherwise, within 10 years, there's going to be no one left to advertise it, and there's going to be nobody in it, because nobody's going to have any idea what they do, and then you're too far gone at that point.
Yeah. I mean, basic marketing 101, make sure any customer knows what your value prop is. Another way to put what you just said, what's your value prop? No matter which of those organizations you are, association, group, membership organization, whatever it is, what's your value prop? What's it now? And does that need to pivot? Because I think that's a huge problem. No one knows. It's the millennial generation. We don't know what they are.
Yeah.
You know, Drew, maybe we can talk about doing a little bit of a wrap on this.
Yeah, maybe a little association wrap would be.
Break out the association, the chamber wrap, and some. I like this idea of the chamber. It's just like a treasure vault.
Yeah, the chamber wraps, bars.
But yeah, I think this topic needs some further episodes and talking points.
I think it does.
Yeah, I think step one, if you're this group and you want to attract us millennials, take a hard look. What's your value proposition? What do you do? Does that resonate with millennials? If not, it's time to start pivoting, and then explain that value prop out through content marketing, branding, basic marketing principles to others. Because yeah, if your whole value as a membership organization can't be explained to others, and you've got, at that point, you know, it's like, I don't know the general population statistics, but I know like they say that in 2020, 70% of the U.S. workforce will be millennials. So let's assume that's the same thing for membership organizations. 70% of your possible members are millennials. And if 70% of the population does not know what you do, now you're left with 30%, and now you're trying to get like a small percentage of that. You've already lost 70% of the marketplace.
Honestly, the other thing is that 70% of the workforce, 100% of that 70% needs to work because they need to get money. So unfortunately, the places that are offering jobs are going to get the millennials. 100% of that 70% of people who are available to be part of your organization don't necessarily need to be part of your organization. So, it's not like a need, based sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of, I'm going to, sponsor this event, and then they're going to see my name on a poster with 25 other sponsors, and that's going to have any idea from me of what you're doing. I think they should really hone in on asking us. We're putting ourselves out there. There's so many people who are willing to get engaged and to add value, and they want to prove themselves. So I think that's, to use the resources that are available to you within the community and start there. But first identify what exactly is your value add, as you said.
What's your value add? I like it. Stay tuned. We're going to dive into this topic more because it bears discussion. And if you want help just talking about what your value is you can provide, your value prop, reach out to us. We're happy to share some insights and some thoughts on this. And in turn, do you have your own opinion on millennials? Thoughts on the millennial mind? No matter your age, take part in our millennials survey. We want your input. There's a link below. We encourage you to please take the test. That's it for today's show, everyone. Thank you, as always, for spending time watching this episode. Don't forget, click to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And as always, challenge you, take action today to change the world and invest in yourself.